Five Nights at Freddy's security breach has been widely anticipated for a long time. The FNAF fandom is huge, and up until now, the games have all been very simple indie titles utilizing pre-rendered 3D models in a 2D game engine. Security Breach was to be the first fully 3D entry in the series, a first-person stealth horror game, and the fans were rightfully very excited. However, Security Breach has been out for a bit now, and having been given some time to digest the game, I have only one question. What happened? Security Breach was first teased on August 8, 2019, the 5th anniversary of the FNAF franchise. On September 16th of 2020, a teaser trailer for the game was launched amidst the PlayStation 5 showcase. However, a few months later in November, the game was delayed to early 2021 with complications related to the current state of the world. That's perfectly reasonable. In February of 2021, we got to see the first gameplay footage from the upcoming title. This was important as the game was still slated for a Q1 2021 release, and that deadline was fast approaching. Unfortunately, at the end of April, Security Breach was delayed yet again. Scott Cawthon released a small side-scrolling arcade beat-em-up game as an apology to fans, but after so many delays, fans were starting to get nervous. Miyamoto once famously said, "A delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad." While this is slightly less accurate in the modern era, where games can be retroactively fixed with patches, it's still very much true in the sense that there's only so much you can do with post-launch updates. While disappointed, FNAF fans were optimistic that the delays would ultimately result in a much better, much more polished game. Unfortunately, this did not turn out to be the case. Fast forward to launch day. The first problem arose with the actual release date of the game. See, the game was supposed to drop on December 16th at 6 p.m. Pacific time. However, a lot of people weren't aware of the 6 p.m. Pacific time part. European gamers got a really raw deal as they expected the game to launch on the 16th. They took off work, school, etc., only to learn that the game wouldn't actually be playable until very late at night in their time zone. In some cases, the game didn't become available to them until early the morning of the next day. But that was only the beginning of the issues. While some streamers and YouTubers had a relatively smooth experience, many did not. YouTuber Onyx Locke was able to make a nearly 8-minute compilation of bugs that Markiplier encountered through his first playthrough alone.
Ray tracing, please. Are you currently sprinting at me as if you're gonna kill me? Because it doesn't seem to be working. You still there? Oh, there you are. Oh, I see. A little strange. I'm gonna be a bit of a pain in the ass. Huh? Open? No? Oh, I don't know about that one. Oh, what? What? Whoa, 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 bug, I found one. What the hell?
It's one thing when speedrunners exploit bizarre tricks that no player would encounter in regular gameplay, but at launch, Security Breach had a plethora of game-breaking bugs that regular, casual players encountered at an alarmingly high frequency. Bugs aside, a series of mission clarity issues resulted in many players getting stuck, unsure as to how to progress further into the game.
You are now looking at the exit to this level. Can't see it? Let me zoom for you. It's in between these two washing machines. I did not find this for 45 minutes. I am showing you this because it will help you understand my slow descent into madness as I desperately search for a way out of this place.
Within 12 hours of the game's release, speedrunners had completely broken the game. There were tons of sub-6-minute runs in the unrestricted categories within a day or two of the game's launch. And the skips were simple. Jumping over a railing here, climbing up the outside of a staircase and jumping to a rooftop you're not supposed to access. Heck, the first major exploit involved simply jumping before entering into Freddy. This deloaded most of the map, allowing the players to essentially walk wherever they wanted unimpeded.
Now I'm exactly where I need to be. So the glitch is if you jump while getting inside of Freddy's uterus, it allows you to clip through everything in the game, so you can just walk to the end.
Make no mistake, these bugs and glitches are amusing. They're fun to watch, and they allow people to experience the game in a new and unintended way. I have no issue with that. I think that's a great thing. What I take issue with is the fact that Steel Wool Studios very obviously did not playtest their game. So many of these bugs and exploits are so obvious, it's impossible that after rigorous playtesting, all of them were still missed. Casual players found most of these exploits within the first 12 hours of the game's launch. There's absolutely no excuse for that. I have a theory, though keep in mind it's very much that, speculation. I suspect that the developers at Steel Wool playtested the game themselves. This may appear to be a good measure for cutting costs, but in reality, it's almost always a terrible decision. As a software developer myself, I know firsthand that if you wrote the code, if you made the map, if you designed the progression, you're never going to be able to find bugs the way a proper third-party playtester would. When you yourself made the game, you know exactly how it's supposed to be played, and as a result, you end up failing to catch really obvious bugs and sequence breaks. It's critically important that the developers aren't the ones to test their own games. Do I think Security Breach is a bad game? No, I find it mediocre. There's definitely some fun to be had, and it's always nice to see a universe get new lore fleshed out in a new way. The story stuff alone is probably worth the cost of admission for most FNAF fans, but that begs the question. If all you're interested in is the story, why not just watch the story on YouTube and save your money? I expect that a lot of fans will end up doing just that. I really just take issue with the fact that despite numerous delays, the game still launched in an incredibly broken, unpolished state. To me, it sounds like a failure of project management. Steel Wool was granted delay after delay, yet instead of using their extra time for proper professional playtesting, they were too busy rushing to get the game into a somewhat playable state before the deadline. Let this be a lesson to all small and indie developers out there. Do not neglect playtesting. A single session of good playtesting will reveal countless bugs and sequence breaks that the developers otherwise would have missed. Thanks for watching, and whether you agree or disagree, please leave a comment below and let me know why everything I just said was wrong. Thanks, and Happy New Year.